In this video, we are going to take a look at Bitcoin just as usual, and we're going to zoom into the more detailed price action here, take a look at this resistance zone, this blue zone here, and what might happen. We're going to take a look at that, and we're also going to take a look at the coin market cap here, talk about the fact that many coins are up significantly, and the big winner right now here in the last week is NEO, 40% up. We're going to talk about why they are up so much, and we're also going to take a look at Ethereum, because Ethereum might be a buy right now. And if you want to know why I think that Ethereum is a buy right now, then I think that you should definitely keep watching this video. Hello guys, and welcome to the moon. My name is Carl, and I'm ready to bring you another cryptocurrency video. And let's dive right into the price action of Bitcoin. So let's start off with taking a look at the EMAs here, because we have been following these for a while now, and we have been talking a lot about this 20 daily EMA. And so the update for now here is that we have seen support come into action here, and what we talked about in the last video was that we were actually going below. You can see here that we have a small little VIX going below the 20 daily EMA here, and of course those who watched that live might have gotten a little bit worried because, well, what was happening? Are we going down here, or what is happening? Well, the update I made was about the volume at that point not being high at all. The volume was very low, a red candle, because yeah, it was a red candle at that point. But after that fact, we actually saw the price start to regain confidence, and the volume started to go back up again, but of course in a positive direction in the price. So we started to see the bulls defend the 20 daily EMA effectively. So we did see a rapid move here from the lows, and we've been stopped right now because of the fact that we've ran into some resistance. And let me just point that out to you. Let me move into the 4 hourly here for this one. So here we are on the 4 hourly, and let me just point out that this area, right, let's say, well, actually all the way from up here, you could argue several different points as the, let's just say, well, here. I would say that this is our resistance zone right now. We've ran into resistance over here and over here, and right now that's where we actually got stopped on our way up. And we did talk about this resistance zone in a few videos back, and at that point I said specifically, I think I said the 6,830 level, that's up here. We haven't really reached that exact line, but we got very close here. And so this general area here is very resistance heavy, and we're gonna have to see if the bulls can well, pull through or not. And one interesting thing is that, of course, we do see the 20 daily EMA here come and kind of scope up the price here. So if we can see continued support here, like we saw right now, then of course we're gonna have a convergence here of this support, this resistance zone, and this support line. And of course we're gonna have to see if the bulls or the bears can win when we start seeing this tightening area be more narrow here. And we talked about the stochastic RSI and the RSI in the last few videos as well. And of course the RSI, nothing really interesting has happened here except for the fact that we are in the middle ground here. And well, another interesting thing of course would be that we have seen a downtrend here generally for the last few weeks here, and right now we see the RSI actually start to reverse this trend, just like the price. So there's nothing really that spectacular in the RSI. Let me just talk about this stochastic RSI, because this is a momentum indicator. So this is telling us how much momentum the current move has. So when we move down here, we saw a cross here, and then we saw both lines just start to fall here. This is the momentum, and as long as these lines are parallel and just going down, that means we can expect the downwards the fall to continue. The momentum is still going, but when we go down into this area down here, then we run out of momentum, and we can expect a reversal, or at least the current price movement to actually stop. And so what happened here was we did see a cross here, but we didn't see that follow through where we actually fall down and start to go down towards this territory. So that is something that I'm watching right now, and when we do start to see these lines fall here, we're gonna have to watch out for a correction coming here. But that is not really happening right now. That is something that we have to watch, and something that we can see happen sometimes is that we actually fall down and find support here and start curving back up again, just like we saw here. And well, I mean, that is possible, but we had to look out for a bigger correction, because when we do see these lines fall dramatically, we see big falls happen in the price. Not always, to be fair, not always. This is one of those indicators that we should keep an eye on when they are in these territories, up here or down here, because that means momentum might be there to start to show up in the price. And also, of course, I've seen a lot of people talk about this, let me see, this potential rising wedge. And I'm not sure exactly if I like how this looks, but if this is a rising wedge, then we should see there's a higher probability for us to move to the downside than to the upside. And so this is something that I'm watching as well. So if we see a break down here with a big volume coming in, then yeah, that might possibly initiate that correction that we are seeing in the stochastic RSI. But nothing much to say here really. We have this rising wedge, and that's a bearish pattern, and if this checks out, then yes, there is a higher probability for us to move down than up from this wedge. And also, let me take a look at Ethereum real quickly, because actually I would like to argue that we see maybe potential here in the Ethereum to actually buy low. Because we do see Ethereum showing some weakness here in the last few days here, that we've seen Ethereum go down essentially below the 200 daily EMA, so we're below it, and also when we go to the 1 hourly, we can see that we are below the 200 hourly EMA as well. So we are below key lines here. And one interesting thing is that we actually, do you remember this cup and handle that we talked about here, that we traded perfectly here, got a very nice breakout, got above, we got a really nice breakout. Since then, of course, we've seen the price revert a little bit, but we still see twice here have we seen this line actually act as support since then. So this is a very strong support line, and I would say that now that we actually saw the price come down below the 200 daily EMA and the 200 hourly EMA and bounce off this line, I would say that Ethereum could definitely be a buy right now if you are interested in picking up some Ethereum, and if you're interested in buying low and selling high and not buying when everyone else is buying, then here you have one of those opportunities. Because if we go over to CoinMarketCap also, we can see here that in the last 7 days, we can see that many coins here are up significantly, like 20%, 20, 39, Neo, that's nice, and we have NEEM 25%, Ethereum Classic 11, 12. So a lot of coins here are up 40%, 64, 22, 21. And Ethereum is just up exactly what Bitcoin is up, so 9%. That means that there might be a big potential for Ethereum to get that big increase in price. And this is something that I usually do. I don't want to buy when something has already gone up 25%. I want to buy before that happens. And when that eventually happens, then maybe I sell a little bit to buy something else that is undervalued. But I would say that Ethereum currently might be undervalued, and there are some technicals here that might give us a nice trade. I wouldn't have a specific selling point or anything. This is just if you're looking into buying Ethereum long term, or at least to ride this reversal possibly up when Bitcoin goes up, then you have a low buying point right now. So Ethereum is cheap. Worth mentioning, of course, also is that we are low in the RSI. We're in the 40 level, so there is room to go up here. But yeah, that's Ethereum for y'all. Let's go over to the crypto news section of this video. And first of all, for all of you Neo holders out there, the reason why Neo is up 39% right now is a mix of, first of all, Neo was very undervalued. We saw Neo go down dramatically in the last few weeks and even months, faster than all other coins. So first of all, it was undervalued technically in the price. And also the Neo team has hinted here that the decentralization is coming. And if you are a Neo hodler, you know exactly what this means. I'm not going to go through this. Maybe I can make a video about Neo sometime. There are a lot of bad projects and scams out there, but I would say that Neo is not one of them. But then again, of course, there's a very competitive market out there in the platform area. We have Neo, Ethereum, EOS, Cardano. So of course, there's a lot of competition. So it's risky investing in altcoins because there's always going to be that better project coming in the future. But Neo is an interesting project. But yeah, so the news coming out of Neo is that they are actually entering the decentralization process because they have previously been centralized during all the developments, well, up until now. So that's big news for Neo. And next up, I just want to talk about this because this goes very well into what I've been talking about ever since I began this channel, that ICOs and most coins are scams. Over 1,000 crypto projects are considered dead now. And why? Well, because they were scams, essentially. According to Coinopsis list, there are 247 dead coins as of press time. And they define dead tokens as exhibiting at least one of the following: abandoned, scammed, website dead, no nodes, wallet issues, no social updates, low volume, or developers have walked away from the project. I mean, obviously scams. If you cannot follow through with your project, if you cannot follow through with your big idea, then you were only in it for the money. You just wanted to steal people's money and then run away with it. You were conducting a scam, and shame on you, essentially. But it's not a big I mean, of course people are going to scam people in this hype when cryptocurrencies are new, and I would argue that you saw the same thing in the .com bubble, the IT boom. Same thing there. When there is a new revolutionizing technology and ideas, then of course people are going to try to take advantage of the fact that retail investors are not really that smart. Usually retail investors just throw their money wherever they see green numbers. When prices are going up, they throw their money, and that's essentially how this works. And dead coins similarly had a 830 item long list of dead cryptocurrencies, so even more. Among them is the recent Titanium blockchain infrastructure service initial coin offering that was shut down by the US Securities and Exchange Commission for fraudulent practices. And this Titanium ICO raised $21 million from investors. So I mean, it's very lucrative scamming people in the ICO market. But I guess what I want to say here is just be aware of this, that in the next hype cycle, because I do expect us to see another hype cycle with possibly an even bigger bubble than we already seen, with bigger scams, more scams, and be aware of that. And when you invest, please look for working product and a team that is actually an actual team. Be sure that there is something there. I think the working product is probably the most important thing, but just generally, are there any big warning signs? Because I don't want you to throw your money into the arms of all these scammers. But that's going to be it for today, guys, and if you click down here, you can watch that video, and I will see you guys tomorrow.